Set your alarm, aren't you hungry?
Break it down for him a little bit. I had to hurt his feelings. I didn't really want to do it, but I'm just like, you getting out of hand. Like, you really getting out of line. I was like, I don't know why someone like you is watching content from people like them. You, first of all, don't have the same money as them. You don't have the same lifestyle as them.
Wow.
You don't have the resources they have, and you don't have the platform they have. So why the is someone like you being...
Bruh, no. Because why her face look like that, bro?
From they have.
Y'all remember the little dog from Men in Black?
Why the someone like you being...
Well, whoever she was talking about, she was going in on their ass.
Oh, we got to get active on this one here today. Let me roll up my sleeves for this one. Guys, for the content piece today, matter of fact, let's just go down up in there and see what we got cooking. All right. Now, the video for today comes from a TikToker by the name of Earthbound Babe. Within this video, which is going viral right now, you'll see here 173,000 likes, which means millions and millions of views, 4,000 comments. But within this video that she has titled Manosphere Content Influenced My Ex-Boyfriend, she is speaking about her prior relationship. The boyfriend started to watch Kevin Samuels, and then how the relationship went awry. All right, so let's get in there, see what she has to say, and drop our 2 cents. Without further ado.
Have y'all ever had a relationship fail because of the type of content that your boyfriend was watching? I just saw this girl, and I'm gonna tag her below, and she was talking about how she lost her boyfriend to red pill content. Well, I basically lost my boyfriend to manosphere content, and that was the beginning of the end. I didn't know it though. One day I came home.
It's interesting that she disambiguates manosphere from red pill content, which lets me know that she really doesn't understand the things that we talk about and comes at it from more of an adversarial perspective. But let's listen.
I was in my vanity room. Okay, I have a room just for myself with my clothes and my makeup.
Vanity room?
In that room, I have a TV. One day, my ex, he comes in my room where I'm decompressing, mind you. And he goes on my TV and he says, baby, I want you to watch this creator with me. Okay. And I said, oh, okay. Because at this point, me and him have been together for about a good 3 years. So I feel like when he was suggesting content to me, it's because he thought that I also might enjoy it. So I said, oh, okay. What type of content does he make? And he says, well, he comes on his platform and he invites women on there and he basically argues with them. And I shit y'all not.
That's not the best explanation. Bro, I was just watching Kevin Samuels yesterday after not watching him for a long time. And I just realized he really gave a lot of these females a platform to speak. Like, to have actual dialogue. You know what I'm saying? Like, black women especially. Like, he really gave y'all a platform, bro. When you really think about it, I seen it too. I seen a moment where a woman had said something and it made him stop and think. And I was like, yo, Kevin just learned something in that moment. Because she had said something and Kevin was like, You know what I'm saying? I was like, so he learning from y'all just as much as we was learning from him. That's the dope part. Just imagine if he was still alive, how much further along he would be, or we would be as a people, bro.
Question that came out of my mouth after he said that was, is he gay? Because in my mind, I don't know an actual real man who goes out about his way to argue with a woman just to tell her about herself. Because
it's beyond funny to me that she assumes that the boyfriend is just bringing her content that she'll like. Meanwhile, the boyfriend is questioning, contemplating the reality of the 3-year relationship that he is in, is trying to use Kevin as a way to spark discussion. Little does he know she don't want to have no goddamn discussion. But guys, did you hear the response to argue with women, which I would agree is a little bit weird, but I don't think Kevin would argue with women. Kevin would just simply break down the real reasons that the women were single, not finding a high value man, and his goal was to help, not tear down. That he had unconventional means of doing so?
Hell yeah.
I would say yes, but only if they got out of pocket first. Then he would utilize it for entertainment value. All the man did was match the energy that was being given to him, but he did it with truth and logic behind every word. But notice how the first thing that she thinks of is he gay? Let's go.
Because in my reality, okay, that don't happen, right? I didn't grow up.
My whole problem though is that they think that us as men look at this content and we just look at it mindlessly without our own thoughts and opinions. Like, we can't form our own thoughts on what we, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, we're following him because he said this. Like, no, he said something that made sense and that I can directly apply to my life. You know what I'm saying? He said some truth that made sense as to why my situation is the way that it is and what I can apply to change my situation for my benefit or for the betterment of all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a mind of my own where I can form my own thoughts and own opinions. I'm not following nobody else's. I'm not subscribing to nobody else's thoughts 100% completely. Like, yeah, all right, he might have gave me a perspective I didn't think of before. Now I can correct. You know what I'm saying? But the way that women talk about Kevin Samuels or how we absorb his content is, oh, y'all are just following the leader. He said something and y'all run after him and do exactly what he said. Like, no, that's not how we operate. Now, it might be some foolish men out there that do operate like that, but if we talking in generalities, most men have their own mind to think for their fucking self, form their own opinions, form their own whatever. Like, come on, bro.
With men who were around me that did that type of shit. And the ones that did do that type of shit, they were gay. So that's why I asked that question. He starts to laugh and he's like, nah, he's not gay. It's just that he likes to debate. He likes to go back and forth with the women and tell them how they're wrong. And I was like, okay, just go ahead and put it on. This motherfucker gonna put on Kevin Samuels. Mind you, I did not know who the hell he was at that point. And most people didn't know who he was at that point because he didn't blow up yet. He puts him on. And mind you, I'm just listening because I'm not watching. I'm taking off my makeup and shit. I'm hearing the content. I'm just like, I look at my ex at one point. I'm just like, can you take him off my TV, please? So my ex just starts to laugh and he's like, oh, well, you don't like him? I'm like, hell no, I don't like him.
Of course, yeah. And
then I start to like question him, like, why the would I like him?
Yeah.
So fast forward. Me and my ex get into an argument. So we get into this fight and basically he asked me why I wouldn't do something, like, or why I wasn't like taking him serious or paying attention to him about some shit he was trying to say. I can't really remember, but I told him I cannot take.
So you don't remember what his concern was? No wonder y'all ain't together no more. Now I can't really remember the fuck he wanted, but anyway.
Seriously, because you don't pay any of my fucking bills.
Oh.
That's why I'm not taking shit that you're saying.
Oh damn, cuz you won't pay the bills, cuz.
If I was a young brother, especially after listening to all of Kevin's content, that should be the final straw, right? She is giving you all of the information that you need to do damage with. But that's exactly what the problem is with these types of women. The moment that they start earning more than a man, then the respect vanishes. It begins to disappear. Listening to a man is one of the smallest signs of respect, but we require respect. And when that's gone, as what was represented right here within the relationship, then the relationship is over, whether or not y'all realize it or not. These types of women will dominate these weaker-backed men. By the way, many of these men come down into the sector because it's just like, why won't my woman respect me? Everything that I've been taught about how to treat a woman seems to have been a lie. So then they'll Google some shit and then YouTube will pop up and see my shining ass face. But yet one of the main reasons why these type of women do not gel correctly with masculine men. But let's proceed.
I'm gonna say, this is why women end up alone. I said, what women do you know that are ending up alone? He was like, that's the shit that I see when I'm watching those videos. Because he started to watch just not only Kevin, but he was watching, other influencers who had the same type of content. So I told him, this is where I had to break it down for him a little bit. And I had to hurt his feelings. I didn't really want to do it, but I'm just like, you getting out of hand. Like, you really getting out of line. I was like, I don't know why someone like you is watching content from people like them. You, first of all, don't have the same money as them. You don't have the same lifestyle as them.
Wow.
You don't have the resources they have, and you don't have the platform they have. So why the is someone like you being influenced by someone like that? Notice how she's talking.
Look. Yeah, that's disrespectful. But if I want those things, if I want that type of money, that type of lifestyle, that type of platform, wouldn't that be the person I listen to? The person that has that type of money, lifestyle, platform, bitches? Like, wouldn't I listen to that person? Like, I'm not going to listen to another motherfucker that don't got it. You know what I'm saying? That just only make perfect sense, right? I'm gonna listen to the person that got it and that got it in abundance. I'm gonna listen to the way they think. I'm gonna listen to the way they speak. I'm gonna pay attention to how they move. Like, that is the person that I should pay attention to, because he has the results, you know, and he's giving us free game. All we got to do is listen and apply it to our life. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
You, a grown-ass man,
belittling
almost
him.
into his 30s, because at this point he was like 29, 28 or something like that. Almost into his 30s, you're listening to another grown man. You don't have your own ideology set. You don't have your own morals and values to follow.
Wow.
You're letting somebody else that don't even know that you exist
He
influence
can't be
you.
coached.
And you're a grown-ass man.
That's what I was just saying. They don't look at it as we can take this information and apply it to what we already know. They just look at it as, oh, we're looking at this influencer as a mindless sheep. We don't form our own thoughts. That's why... That's the thing that I think a lot of men are frustrated with. It's like, y'all, because what is the content that women consume? Like, what content do women consume? Don't they form their own opinions based off the content they consume? Like, they watch, I don't know what women watch, to be honest, outside of like makeup tutorials, but like serious content, like content with substance, content that can spark debate, where we can have some type of dialogue that forms. Like, what type of content do women consume? Whatever that content is, don't they form their opinions and their own thoughts based off that content? So why is it when it comes to the content that a man consumes, we're just blind sheep following without our own thoughts and opinions? It's, oh, you gonna listen to him?
Damn. Hard to say you're a grown-ass man. That's crazy. I didn't understand that. I really didn't. Because, yeah, social media is fun, but I cannot say I've ever been influenced by a fucking creator on here. Because,
that's a lie.
Bitch, if you're trying to sell me some shit and I don't want it, I'm going to keep scrolling. If it sounds like some shit that don't sound right, I'm going to let you know it don't sound right.
Yeah, no, this is complete and utter bullshit, ma'am. How dare you say you've not been influenced when it's clear by the size that I'm seeing before me that you've been influenced by not only McDonald's, but Burger King, but also KFC, and yet also Pizza Hut at the same damn time.
Wendy's, Lil Debbie, Sara Lee.
The absolute nerve of you to belittle the person that you're in a relationship with as he tries to talk to you about your ability to actively listen. Not even do the things that he's saying, but just actively listen to him. This is like saying every athlete ever should not have a coach. This is like saying every student ever should not have an educator or a teacher. This man is cross-referencing your abhorrent behavior and the way that you talk to him and treat him versus what he should expect out of a relationship. And one thing that I've always said, and Kevin always says, if they have razor demon serpent tongues like this one, where they can't help but to degrade you, leave them on the streets from whence they came. You know what's interesting about this big backed high calories conversation as well is that I specifically remember Kevin
big back high calorie conversation is wild.
talking to a young woman that actually looks very much like her in regards to what she felt that she was at within the dating marketplace.
Yeah. Would you consider yourself to be average, above average, mediocre, below average?
Where I'm at right now, I would say average, because I'm not where
so I need you to understand something. You're 28, 28 with 2 children, and one of them is an infant, right? You're 5'5", almost 300 pounds. If that ain't below average, I don't know what is, and you call it average. Where in the world is a woman 5'5" and almost 300 pounds with 2 children and unmarried anything about average?
But notice what Kevin did. He didn't roast her. He didn't make up any lies. He just told her about her own situation. He didn't make this shit up, right? That's all the information that he could see with his own eyes and that she decided she wanted to share with him. He didn't make that shit up. Listen to this. He said, where in the world, hold up, man.
Average. Where in the world is a woman 5'5" and almost 300 pounds with 2 children and unmarried anything about average?
You're talking about physicality though.
No, I'm
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. What you think? What you think niggas don't got eyes? When has it ever changed that a man wants a woman at first for the way that she looks? It starts with looks. That's where it starts. That's how it's always been, and that's how it's always gonna be.
That's because yes, I am. That's right. Because it matters to men.
yeah, and I'm sure it does. I can pull guys like nothing. I mean, that doesn't matter.
Oh my
Like,
God.
Birds of the delusional feather seem to flock together.
Left
But
wing,
it's
right wing.
hardly ever I get influenced by somebody on here. And this grown ass man wants me to take him serious. The one that's getting influenced by somebody. The one that don't pay bills. You want me to take you serious? What the f? I said you need to stop listening to the motherfucker. Because they got you fucked up. And now you got me fucked up. He just shut the f up. He didn't say nothing else. He didn't say shit after that. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk to you when
Hold on.
because they got you fucked up. And now you got me fucked up. He just shut the up. He didn't say nothing else. He didn't say shit after that. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk to you when I get home. And I hung up. And that was the end of that conversation.
The reason that he shut up is that it should have clicked for him. There was something in between what you're saying and then what we say over here in men-centric, men-focused content where he knows that the relationship is completely done. If he is the type of one that is not the main contributor to the majority of bills that are in and around the house, the sector, then he more than likely just realized that he selected relationship before he was ready as a man. So there is degrees within that where he does need to improve his situation. If he's a couch potato with Cheetos and shit running down his face while he overconsumes video games all day, then yeah, he absolutely needs to improve his situation, and he needs to practice isolation in order to be able to do that, because he will not be able to do that within the confines of relationship of a witch mouth like this. Let's go.
I should have known that that was going to be a problem. Okay. Now, another thing too, if you have a boyfriend that has, and this is not all of them. This is not all of them. This was just the one that I had. And there are many others that are like him. Okay. So please don't get this confused. Do not run with this shit. Okay. Sometimes men, where they have an absence of a father in their life, if he sees a man talking about things that other men respond well to, then he will also try to adopt their ideas, adopt that behavior. Because they think...
Well, that will only make sense if those men have what that man wants. If he sees a community where something works and these men are successful, these men are getting results, they're getting the successful businesses, money, respect, women, you know what I'm saying, they getting all of these things, then of course I'm gonna listen to them. I'm gonna follow them. They got what I want. This my only life. What, I'm gonna keep struggling over here with you? I'm gonna keep arguing back and forth with you? Or I'm gonna go over here with the winners and they gonna help me win, and I can start getting more cooperation from an even better bitch. You know what I'm saying? A better looking woman than you that's gonna cooperate, that's gonna submit, it's gonna do all of these great, wonderful things and make my life wonderful. What you mean, bruh? She don't mind watching a video with me. One of the sexiest things about a woman is her willingness. You know, if you find a woman that's just willing to do things because she know that's what you like, it's nothing like better than that. That's a great, wonderful feeling, bro. Y'all, bro, I swear y'all women be holding on to a power that y'all don't even know y'all got. Y'all be in y'all own head so much, y'all don't even realize y'all power. Y'all can have the world like that, right? If y'all just chill the fuck out a little bit.
that a man is teaching them something that they don't know.
This is not a man thing. This is a human behavior thing. Men do this with other men. Women do this with other women. The way that she's trying to propose this is that, like, men are inherently weak. This is that feminist shit. They're weak, so then they'll find someone online to try to teach them something that they haven't, which men finding something online, right? Like, you could get a whole college degree online, right? And I'm not comparing what I do over here to a college degree. I'm just saying people can go online to try to find out or figure out shit. You can't access AI unless you're online. But this is a people thing. He's continuously learning and realizing that he went about this completely wrong. And thank God he figured all of this out before getting down on bended knee for a woman that loves to put a man under her thumb and put her balls out on the table while tucking his in her purse. Let's go.
Because they didn't have one growing up. So now they're looking for that. Is what I'm trying to say. I hope I said that right. My thing is this, though. If you're going to listen to them type of people, you got to make sure everything else in your life matches up with them too. Okay? Not just your mentality.
All right. So what do you tell a girl that says that and they listen to Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Sexy Red, Glorilla, little goofy ass? What do you tell them? Make sure your life aligns up with theirs if you're gonna listen to them. Ask yourself, do you want your life to be like Megan Thee Stallion's? Do you want your life to be like Cardi B getting played by Stephon Diggs and Offset? You know what I'm saying? But they got money though. But are they happy? You know what I'm saying? Do you want their life? Do you want their chaos and drama and turmoil? And well, maybe y'all do. Maybe y'all hoes do want all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe y'all do want all that. Maybe y'all do want to be scrutinized by the public like Megan Thee Stallion. Because if you look at Megan Thee Stallion's track record, she has done nothing but leave a path of destruction with everybody that she comes in contact with. That's why I'm like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with Klay Thompson? Dog, everybody, if just look at Megan Thee Stallion's path since she's been a celebrity, since she's been famous, right? Her path is destruction. She's a literal agent of chaos, bro. Her beauty that she uses is used for evil instead of good. Like, she could use her beauty for good, but she chooses to use it for evil, in my opinion. But the whole point is, her point was, if you're going to listen to those type of people, make sure your life aligns with the, like, all right, if you're going to listen to Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B and Glorilla, make sure your life aligns up with them, right? What she said, let me not misquote her. What did she say?
My thing is this, though. If you're going to listen to them type of people, you got to make sure everything else in your life matches up with them too.
So we could use that argument for the music y'all listen to, for the influencers y'all listen to. Like, does your life align with those people? Is your life exactly like theirs? Relationship, status, money, respect, chaos, drama. Is your life aligned with theirs?
Okay, not just your mentality about women. You got to make sure your finances match up. You got to make sure your looks match up. You got to make sure all the decisions that you make in your life got to match up with theirs too. See, it's more than just having...
See, and why stop there? Why stop there? You can use that. You can apply this concept to any point in life. If you want your life to align up with theirs, you got to make sure that... If you want to have children, you got to make sure that your life aligns up with theirs. You know what I'm saying? If you want to have a relationship, you got to make sure your life aligns up with theirs. Like, where does it stop? Come on, bro. Nobody makes decisions like that. Nobody makes choices like that. You don't make choices like that. You didn't wait for your life to align up like whoever you looked up to before you started making choices. You know what I'm saying? You went out there and you did it. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you was influenced by somebody that looked like this. You know what I'm saying? You didn't think about it. You didn't align your life up with theirs before you went out and did it. What sense do that make? At that point, then, everybody going to be waiting around to do everything.
An influenced mind, right? If you really feel
Shout out to the
like how that
Rose.
person feels and you want your life to reflect that, you want to move how they move, you got to have your whole life looking just like how theirs look. And his life wasn't looking like that. Okay, like I said, he wasn't doing anything other than the bare minimum. And I really do feel like that was the beginning of the end. Tip of the iceberg. Also, it's no shade to Kevin Samuels. I know that man passed away. I'm not trying to disrespect him, but that was part of my story. Also, I do want to say this, okay? I saw some comments in my last video.
We gonna go over the comments.
Saying I was rage baiting. This ain't no rage baiting. I told you what the happened and I left. I hardly even responded to most of the comments on there because most people thought that I was just saying shit just because I wanted to get reactions. No, I gave my confessional, my testimonial, and I left. Like, there really is nothing else, to rage bait about. I told y'all a story that happened to me, and that's it.
I don't know.
But yeah, y'all.
Okay. We're going to go over the comment section because the comment section is a whole nother beast of this video, as you can imagine, because it's got millions and millions of views. But let me also retouch on that last point as well. And what she's also talking about is one of the major problems when the majority of the men are being raised by single mothers. So many of them grow up only to be judged and rejected by the same type of woman that raised them. And it's almost as if they get attracted to this domineering type of personality because they watched their first love, their mother, exhibit this with them and exhibit this with other men within their lives as she was dating. And it's almost like some of them get just attracted to the toxicity of that malformed situation. They get attracted to the toxicity. They get attracted to getting belittled, being told that they're not man enough or that they will not amount to the person that it is that they are listening to. But what's interesting about that dynamic is that when these men start to call out some of this nonsense, then they are the ones that are actually blamed for not having fathers, which is so ironic.
That's crazy.
Absolutely diabolical. Listening to a conversation like this and at least understanding a
It
component
ain't my fault my daddy wasn't there.
of their relationship dynamics, at least towards the end, helps me understand why the marriage rate is going down, because it's people reaffirming their correct positioning as well as their correct roles. It also makes me think that the divorce rate will stop going up. Why? Because less incompatible people will be getting married to begin with, because many of these men that get down on bended knee do not understand, number one, the ill fate that they might receive, whether it be in the family court system, if a divorce was to occur, which happens in 50% of all marriages, or B, they're more formally able to understand the behavior types and the characteristics of a young lady that would be a fantastic wife to have. Now let's go down into the comment section and see the complete and utter malarkey. Trigger alert as well. It's pretty violent down there. And then Kevin Samuels died alone. These nasty, dirty wenches. 20,000 likes is absolutely insane. You know you was doing something right when you had this many damn haters. He did not die alone. He died unmarried, if you want to say that, but he did not die alone. I don't know why these harpies continue to perpetuate this lie. Dingaling says manosphere content is red pill content. Let's just keep going. Does he know that Kevin Samuels died alone in a hotel room and was found by a sex worker he had hired? This is like so insane reading this shit. It absolutely wasn't a sex worker. This is absolutely not true. And in fact, I talked with Kevin the day before he passed. We actually had a conversation. We had a few conversations in regards to the young lady that was with him at the time of his event. And he was seriously vetting and considering this young lady. He would have not done so if he thought that she was a SW. Anyway, mind you, Kevin Samuels said that men should pay for anything, but they always skip those videos. They just watch the ones about women. Couldn't have said it better myself. You can't lose your boyfriend to manosphere content. Manosphere content saved you from a man whose character is as shaky as a belly dancer. I could say the same thing in reverse. Save the young man from potentially proposing to a serpent-tongued young lady. And the crazy comments just go on. Let me see another one that has a lot of likes. This one has 26,000 likes. Let's go over and take a look at it. It's crazy how impressionable they are. Well, uppity African, my response to that is that if a man is feeling not well within a situation, especially a relationship situation, and if he goes out and he tries to find information in order to try to understand the genjutsu that he's currently in, does it make it impressionable? Or is he looking for information in order to upgrade his life? And within that, he's trying to have conversations with a young lady that obviously has lost respect for him a long time ago. And I'm glad that he was able to find at least Kevin to diagnose all of the bullshit.
And the dope thing is you could still go on Kevin Samuels' channel and watch his videos, bro. Like, they still there. Sometimes, every once in a while, they pop up in the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? And he got so much content, and it's all still relevant. That's the dope part. Every video of him that I watched is still relevant now. It's like his content would probably never not be relevant unless men and women just finally get on the same page. That's the only way his content will ever be irrelevant. If in mass, men and women just start getting on the same page and just boom, one after the next, boom, 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 married, successful marriages, successful family life, cooperation, all these things, bro. All of these great, wonderful things. Like, come on, bro. That's the only way his content will become irrelevant. Even then, it'll probably still be relevant. I don't know.
These women will see a young woman speaking to and about a past relationship, a man in a past relationship, and none of their signals go up at all because this is normalized to them. This behavior is normalized to them. These are the same women that'll call a man narcissistic. Meanwhile, you go back into their post history and they utilize sign language as if it's the second language that they ever learned.
Shawty said she had a vanity room. That's something that caught my attention too. For what? Let me not be mean.
Pay for everything. So if he was to listen to that content and to cross-reference in his situation, I'm glad that he got out of it because he knew that he started out on the wrong foot. Anyway, if you guys light up the comment section, I'll bring this conversation live and we can deep dive. We can go in for a formal understanding. Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do. mediocretutorialsandreviews@gmail.com. Hopefully you guys enjoy.
Bro, y'all terrible. This comment say, no decent man wants a female sumo wrestler. So she doesn't like content that holds women accountable. Not surprised. She's the type of person to block you from her prettier friend. No man wants a Jerome Bettis built woman. The fact that she's fully bought into the feminist doctrine echoed by every modern single woman while judging a man for listening to sound wisdom kills me. That was a lot to read. You typed this shit? That was a lot to go through, man. You shouldn't date her for her vocabulary. I guess she saw how KS was going hard with what do you weigh questions on the girl in video, and that triggered her size. The fact her and so many other women think a man getting in any sort of argument with them is automatically gay is so weird. They must just expect men to sit there and getting screamed in the face or something. Nah, me, I would just leave. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna argue with no woman. But Kevin wasn't arguing with him, though. He was talking to him. The women getting their emotions, and then he would just match their energy. A mirror. He said that plenty of times. He was a mirror. All he was doing was reflecting back to them what he gave him. He just did it when they showed the example in this video. I even said that. He didn't say nothing that she didn't say. He just read back to her own stats. He said, where in the world is a 5'5" woman that's almost 300 pounds with 2 kids considered average? And if that's considered average, that is absolutely fucking crazy, bro. Think about that, bro. That's average? Nah, man. Because what's the male equivalent of that? Whatever the male equivalent of that is, y'all would not want that to be the average. What is the male equivalent of a woman that's 5'5", almost 300 pounds with 2 kids? What's the male equivalent of that? That is not average, man. But look, man. Y'all like the video. LIKE, like the video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Y'all be safe. I'm out.
Bruh, you recording?